Okay, thank you. Um, why, brother, why go through all that effort? What is in it for me? We have had these questions many times over the course of the last 6 weeks. We have done our best to offer something tangible in response, but the true answer is far greater and has yet to reveal itself. For those that were curious, that listen into their context, it is very likely that they became the sower or seed of hopes that beneath the surface have slowly started to take root. These new beginnings are not coming from elsewhere, made by recycling the latest trending concepts or as part of someone else's distant future. They are here and now on the soil beneath your feet, between the houses in your own neighborhoods, between the houses in your own neighborhoods. This is tangible potential, so real you can almost see it. When these seeds sprout and something in the air changes, this is called emergence. When your teams act together and their movement form one whole, this is called aligned action. When your aims unlock new capabilities and new potentials, you are creating systems, transition pathways. You are living your region's story into being. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think almost of that has been said from me. Honestly speaking, because we always tell people why these actions or things that we are doing is very important. And I think saying it loud here or reading it through that also make a lot of sense and what's shared with all the participating team from our community. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
That's from the why because it provides clarity. Sila, do you want to say a bit more on that, if you're able to? Maybe she's in a, yeah, she'll pass. Okay, no worries. Um, okay, if anyone would like to say anything at any point, please chip in. Echo, I know you said you're on a bus. Abdurrahman, do you want to say anything? Is
Yeah.
anything resonating?
Mm. Well, it's what like I was reading with my brain. It's the I said it's all, but it's I think yeah, I said it's all for now. So we should continue.
Okay, okay. All right, so this document we're going to send out in the coming days. And Alfred has just joined. Hey, Alfred, good to have you with us. Thank you for joining. We've just finished a section. I wonder if anyone could set the context for Alfred, what we've been working through. Well, I'll I'll say a little bit on it. Um, Alfred, can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good to have you with us. What we've been doing is we've been reading through a page from the docs where it's trying to I've tried to give some information about how to approach your first publication, um, which is basically using the docs and using the timelining and um, anything else that you can to do a first storytelling of the work that's happening in your region. Um, and Abdul Basit has been doing a great job of reading through these first two paragraphs for us, um, and hearing his reflection as well on how he and the teams have been making sense of this program. We were hearing, or at least I heard, a lot of um, resonance, and we felt like, yeah, it's kind of capturing, um, or it's addressing this question of why are we going through all of this effort. Abdul Basit was also uh, highlighting that if we focus on just the prizes for this hackathon, then in a way it's missing out on something potentially bigger. Um, and so, yeah, we were just speaking to that a little bit. And that's where we're at. This video is going to be used to set the context for others. Maybe I'll put it at the top of this page, maybe in the evaluation page. Um, but yeah, the key, I mean, the aim, what we're talking through at this stage is the hub submission for them to um, publish their first story. That's the theme, the topic that we're currently on. And yeah, thank you, Abdul Basit, for those contributions. It's always great to hear from you. We can now take this in any direction. We can open up for um, to hear from any questions that people have. We can go through any of the different dimensions in more detail. We can do some kind of troubleshooting if anyone's having issues with any of their projects or things. So yeah, mainly to Abdul Basit and Alfred. Would either of you like to bring anything to the session today?
Sorry, Tabs, I made a last catch. Can you?
I was asking if there's anything in particular you want to bring to the session today that we can work through together.
Oh, from my end, I think all is settled. All questions that I asked at the time has been clarified. But for purpose of knowledge sharing, I'll say it's all about the globe, how the data have been, where the data have been retrieved, and what is happening there from these numeric values. And I think that has been explained to me earlier, and I get it.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. The globe definitely feels like it's becoming like a very central interface because it connects a lot of the dots. And because we're asking evaluators to go there, and that's where they'll learn about your project, that's how it's in a way one of the most important ways for your work to be valued. So yeah, yeah, it can be developed further as well. Alfred, did you want to bring anything to this session? Anything in particular?
No, nothing in particular. But I've just been thinking about the issue you did raise in the Telegram chats where we are going to face the issue of how you could, what is it called again? About getting access to the Telegram chat. People are having interacting with the Telegram chat, and how you know it could be used and create a kind of way, I don't know, is it LLM, where they could actually chat with it, that timelining stuff. So
Yeah,
that, like, how could that problem be solved? So that's basically what I've been thinking about.
yeah,
and the
Yeah,
few suggestion that I did drop. So to me, I think the suggestion I want to go with the most is if ops could develop the infrastructure themselves, and whether maybe WADA and Prisma provide the resources for them to do that. I think that would be more of an efficient way to go through it.
yeah, I agree. I agree. If we can distribute the build effort, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So apart from that, I have nothing particular.
Apart from that, it's already enough. That's a very chunky piece. Yeah, because also it ties to what Abdul Basit was saying about this being a long-term thing. This interface could be like how people learn about the whole WADA hubs network, and the work happening on the ground. So if they can see the value in that more clearly, it's going to lead to all sorts of things, partnerships, more resources, like you say, Alfred. Sila, I see your hand is raised.
Okay, what I want to talk about is in relation to the partnership you just mentioned. Um, so I was thinking, since this is a long-term thing, if we can, it shouldn't just, I don't know if we are still um focusing on Cardano, right? But we could make it a cross-chain something because looking at some of what the hubs have as their mission, you could see that it's centered on AI and blockchain, making it like big in Africa because Africa is still not like fully adopting, right? There are some, it's like they're being left behind, right? So we could, how do you call it? Whether Prisma Cards could be the launchpad for Africa to be known, for the blockchain space to be kind of bigger, right? And it could be question like adding other blockchains and working together with them in partnerships, right? So there's Cardano, there's Solana, there is Ethereum, there's Bitcoin. We could have a place for all of them and then make sure that even though we have these hubs coming together, people are building, we're bringing in more builders. Builders can build applications that actually integrate different blockchains, right? And and as it keeps expanding, right, more and more people will be um, coming to the blockchain community, or we can expand the blockchain community in Africa. And that could even help like events. Some of the blockchains want to have events in Africa and everything. They can go through um, um, Prisma or WADA, right? So we can look at those things as well. So we shouldn't just be limited on just one blockchain. We can actually look at that because it doesn't matter if you're building an app and you're using Cardano, you can use another chain as well and like deploy on multiple chains, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So what would be the next step to start working on that? What do we have that's already, talking about these seeds that have already been planted? Um, how can we best reflect the value from where we are today?
Well,
Oh,
coming,
okay. You can.
please no, sorry, go ahead. It was your conversation. Please go ahead.
I just spoke, so you kind of say what you want to say. It could also influence or inform what I want to add. So go ahead.
Okay, okay, thank you. I was just trying to join you guys' conversation and replying to what Tabs the question he had asked. So I would say because I went through you guys documentation thoroughly, and I came across a place where you guys already have um presentation slide. You already have a pitch deck. So I feel everything is already set, and I feel maybe Prisma already had such plans, long-term plans. You guys were planning towards it, like okay, different partnership people coming from anywhere, not only Cardano. You could even partner with corporate entities. So
Mhm.
I feel the next step is if if we want to go, plant that seed and proactively nurture it. I think next everything is already set. What needs to be done now is start proactively reaching out to prospective partners or people we could partner with, and share them. Okay, we already have evidence, we already have track record of what we have worked on, and we have hosted this in Accra, we have hosted this in Cat Akatin, and we could do subs for you again. These are the impacts, these are the track record. So I feel what is needed to be done at next line of action is we actually proactively go out there and seek these people.
Yes. Okay. So talk me through that. Imagine we found some aligned potential partners. We reach out to them and they say, cool, show me what you want to show me. What would we show them? I mean, we have, like you say, there's the pitch deck, obviously. But all of what we're working on is basically just to set up, just to direct people to the work happening on the ground.
Okay, so I could say one of the unique value of the process Prisma came up with. The O regenerative principles is one thing, but the O um, organizing process itself, it's another thing, and that in itself holds value. Because I've seen a lot of currently there are lots of foundations, lot of chains, lot of corporations that are wanting and are currently holding intercontinental or like inter-country hackathon, and they want it happening the same time, but it's kind of impossible because the whole process is it's new, so and whether and Prisma has achieved this, came up with the whole process that their hackathon is happening like Orb are self-organizing themselves. So I'm sure if this whole process, could be well communicated to a partner, we could actually say that, if we package it in a good way, we can sell it to, and people see value in, or see value in
Mm,
that.
mm. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Uh, One word that jumped out for me there is self-organized, and I hope we still have Echo in the room. Let me check. He's still here. Yeah. I know that's one of his a concept that he's really interested in and that resonates with him a lot as well. Um, Echo, if you're free, let me know if you're able to talk. Um, because what I'm thinking is, I want to ask the question. So, what would it mean if we began self-organizing as a whole hubs network? What would we organize? What would we, um, yeah, what would we organize? Because you've each had an experience of what self-organizing feels like on the level of a participant and the level of a hub. And what Sila was saying to open up this conversation is really powerful. Um, and what Alfred is speaking to as well. How do we do that on a continental level? What would that look like?
The question is directed towards me or Echo or Adin.
Um, I'm not sure if Echo is free to unmute, so Echo, if you are, then feel free to do so. Otherwise, Alfred, I think you're. Ah,
Hey,
yes, we can hear you. We did hear you.
I
We
think
hear you
Alfred,
less. I'm trying to rush and get into one of these. So after you, then I'll go after it. You want Alfred to go ahead? Or what was the question?
Yeah, I think I heard him. Yeah, he said Alfred should go and he'll go after him.
Okay.
Okay. Can I say something
Yes,
regarding
definitely.
this topic? Okay. From the question, I'll just come from the question, and uh, and I want to say thank you, Celia, for that. That's really insightful. Yeah, what I would say as regarding what could be self-organizing in terms of continental level, I want to say there is no much answers to that than what has happened in the case of this program. How do I mean is that ops, though there are some basic requirements from us from the organizing team. So you do this, you do that, all of this and that. However, I think it is very flexible to the point that we are allowed as a hub to manage participating team, or perhaps let me say as a hub generally, to let me come from the point of documentation to document whatever thing that we think is very, very resonating with our story from the ground or from the local point of view. Yeah, aside from that, is that the nature of how we want to actually organize our things, the way we want to do things, like self-organizing in the sense that, okay, let me use another point as well, in the sense of the general event. I mean, every hub will actually have this event done, the hackathon day. In reality, or let me say in a conventional way, or from experience, it has always been that if this kind of thing is happening, there will be a kind of a fixed date by the organizing team that you must do this and this, do that and that, and all. But the flexibility for us to come up with what really works for them in their local respective locations is one of the things I can consider to be a very good thing in terms of self-organizing approach for the hub. And also, one of the things I can also consider to be very important, I can be reproduced in terms of continental level, is the ability of inter-hub learning. I mean, inter-hub knowledge sharing. I don't know if you have had many of that, but I think to some extent I've had some kind of collaboration with some hubs, assisting one another, considering different time zones. So we were able to communicate, like the privilege that I can actually communicate with my peer. I mean, as a hub lead, I can talk to a hub lead about what can be done or where we are. I'm having a kind of issues as far as this program is concerned. When it is not necessary for me to probably go directly to the organizing team. Yeah, some people might find it very okay to go to organizing team directly to ask questions and all of that. But sometimes some people might feel awkward in the sense that, oh, will I be judged, or will I be judged for asking questions of such from probably organizing team that maybe I've not been active or perhaps I've not been this and that. Just looking in that very kind of direction. But then the fact that we have the flexibility to actually communicate with ourselves, make hop to all, ask questions, get ourselves through. Another thing that we consider in terms of in continental level of self-organizing. So the overall, my own take is that I don't think there is any for now, I mean, for me, any new approach that could even be added as of now. And the reason why I said there is no any approach that could be added as of now is another flexibility that comes into this program, that it is not fixed. It kind of a predefined terms and conditions or rules rather, but a kind of an action learning journey. So when we get to this place, then we sort it. And that is what I've seen to be one of the most important and the interesting part of this program. We get to this point, we sort it. Though it's not, it might not be perfect, but perhaps might not be what people really care to do. And that defines, I mean, that very particular activities in terms of action learning journey define people that are actually really interested in what you're doing. So people that don't care about the true cause of the situations will actually leave. They don't want to spend their time doing a lot of things or trying to find the actual meaning of why they are doing stuff. So that's another important thing that I say could be consider uh, an approach to self-organizing stuff. So those are the things I can see as far as that question is concerned. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful. Who else would like to chip in? Yes, we can hear you. Can you speak up or a bit closer to the mic, Echo?
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, all right. So I think I was following what Alfred was talking about, and I can see that he actually has said like a lot in regards to how like self-organizing could be used. So I think I remember when we were having self-organizing, one thing that I noticed was that it usually came up when we, should I say, arrive at like a setback, as staffs will call it, potential. Whenever we get to like a certain potential, then we come back to like self-organized. So I think I would be a bit lenient towards the whole Cardano ecosystem. So I believe that it's an initiative towards something like, as Africans, we discovered that more than often there is always ideas from Africa which has to do with like onboarding, and we tend to leave out innovators and builders and developers piece too. So I believe through even self-organizing from a team probably like WADA, Prisma, and maybe some other partners, that's how come it came with at moving forward, like at the hub level. I really agree with what Alfred mentioned. He's mentioned something about having like enter changes between like hubs that okay. I think something that happened was once again I'll refer us back to our experience that I think at the end of the day, the initial plan was, I think, when it comes to like reward system, the first people initially everyone was thinking that probably the first group will just, should I say, winner carries all kind of thing. But I think one thing we failed to even notice that it was through self-organization that we came to a certain agreement as to how even the reward system should be. And at the end of the day, when we agreed on one particular thing, we realized that everyone was happy to have participated, whether you came in first or you came in third too. So I think self-organization will like go a long way. And as Africans, for instance, I believe that an initiative like CAT is going to be, should I say, the foundation of bigger ideas to come. Because here lies the case, there will be support, like home support, not just like financial support to push it, but like when it comes to like the technical support, when it comes to expertise, when it comes to additionally like the financial support, is going to like be a foundation for like bigger things to come. I know that this is not just going to be the end thereof. So probably even in the Cardano space, if they are to look out for ideas in Africa to push it forward, by all means, the reference point would be in like a space like CATS too. So I believe like self-organization, as I said, as we are going forward, we are going to hit certain potentials and we would have to like self-organize whether at the team level, at the hub level, at the organizer level, and as a continent at large. So I believe that's the little I'd like to add to it.
Thanks, Echo.
Sorry, I was saying I can't remember what I was speaking on before my network kicked me out. Hopefully, it will be solved because that's one of the problem statements that people from my team, a team from my hobby is currently working on. So I hope they find solutions to it, to our network issues. So yeah, what I wanted to add in is like, and the thoughts just came across when I joined and Basit was speaking and also Adin just spoke now. And I was thinking, well, is self-organizing, is it something new? I don't really think it's something new. I think it's something that it's been like we have known it for ages now, but still feels, everyone's understand the impact and the benefit of self-organizing, and they know, they know the advantages. But then it's almost seeming like no one is doing it, and I think the problem that is the key fundamental problem is self-organizing, which is the core, the connection link. You know, the I don't know if it's with someone or something that connects these independent entities together. Because if self-organizing can't connect, it ends up becoming like, okay, we at the end of the day we might not be able to achieve our aim. Because okay, you are doing that, I'm doing this. Okay, why are we doing that? How can we come together? How can we connect? So, and now coming back to Prisma. So I feel now Prisma as find solution to that ages problem, because looking at it, there are ops independent people that don't know each other. People that might maybe they have their way of doing things, and might not even agree. But at the end of the day, one way or the other, it's still going on. We are still doing achieving the same aim, just differently. There are people that are not even speaking English. That are francophobia, and but one way or the other, we still find a way to connect. They are inter-ops learning. There are people that the way they structure their own documentation is totally different. The way they understand things is totally, and we are all working on our own, like, let me say, terms and conditions. But one way or the other, it's like we are still working as one. So that is self-organizing. Self-organizing itself is like nothing new. But now, what is looking new to me is how you know there is now a structure, there's now a process that connects all this together, and things are moving like. And the most funny part is like, for a system to work, it must all be figured out. Like you must all define and everything. Like, okay, when you get here, you do this, you do this, you do this. But we have not defined everything. But we are still able to still work. Things are still able to move further. Like when we get to a milestone, we figure out what we're going to do next. We get to another milestone, figure out what we're going to do next. Like if like people that have personally worked with me, if maybe I was part of Prisma team, like no, I wouldn't have let things move on. I was like, no, guys, let's figure this out. Let's plan everything before we can move forward. Because to me, it's looking like okay, we are setting up ourselves to fail if we can't figure everything out. But so our Prisma is able to like still get that connection in get figure out the problem in self-organized. I think it's something that it's very valuable and can be sold. It can be sold out to or introduced to the world, to other entities that okay, we have find solution to the problem to self-organizing independent little entities, to now come together to for a one, like to achieve one goal, to achieve one aim. So I don't know if all my gibberish, if it makes sense.
It's making a lot of sense. It's making a lot of sense. One thing I will say is going forwards, Prisma will actually step more and more into the background of this picture. So as you can see on the interface, it's all the WADA personality. In the same way that we're asking you with your docs to reflect the personality of your hub with your logo and your structure, as you were saying, Alfred. For Prisma, yeah, we're gonna try and become more and more just part of the background, blending into the background. So this question that you're raising of how to now engage more partners beyond what is already coming from our network, from this network that we're creating. How do we really bring this forwards and grow out into the world? That will be coming from you guys. And yeah, I can truthfully say that I think probably it will be one or several of you from this room and other rooms and other spaces that we've been creating. And that's huge. So I actually need to jump into another call in 5-6 minutes. Should we do a round of checkouts to close off this call?
I
How are
think
you
Basit had
feeling?
it. But
Yeah, I think he had his hand raised and then I think he
something
dropped
to
off.
say that.
Oh, my hand was still
Oh, you're
raised.
still here. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I was on the panel and I didn't see you on the side panel anymore.
Okay.
Please, sir,
Yeah.
go for it.
All right. I just want to say quick that the question that you asked last, I know Alfred well, and he's a very brilliant guy when it comes to approaching partnership or stuff like that. I mean, when it comes to business, he's a good guy in that field. I don't know what your team will think. If I mean the question, you might not answer it straight away, but for a gradual process, it will be very possible if you can set up with him and see, probably draft some kind of proposal around that, or perhaps how things, like a structure or how we can move forward to that. Because we can continue speaking on these for many times to go. If action is not taken, I doubt if we will do anything as far as that is concerned. I just want to say that. So you must draw a kind of a line of action between line between action and speaking. So I just want to recognize that. And yeah, I want to say something else again, but I think I forgot. That very important. Yeah. I want to say that I don't know how much well, that could be a question that you don't necessarily have to answer. But I want to say that I want to ask if there is much more connection between Prisma and WADA beyond this CAT program. And the reason why I asked that question is that they have some sort of kind of other partnership with other entities that might not be much or enough, to be honest, from the concept of what Sila actually proposed. To some extent, there seems to be some kind of collaboration that can come from that unit as well. Just want to say that the most important part is having a kind of a set of action to be followed. Yeah. And to be interesting, a lot of data here, a lot of information that can attract potential partners. Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, Abdul Basit. I don't know right now what the future holds in terms of WADA and Prisma, but what I can say is it's a very strong, healthy relationship, and I think on both sides we're keen and optimistic about future work that we'll create together. We almost submitted a huge proposal to Fund 15 for Catalyst, which we held back to polish it further for Fund 16. But I think we should also look to more than Catalyst and try and build some sovereign, viable business models and pathways. Okay, I'm gonna need to start to wrap up and head out, but I can leave the room open if you'd like to continue talking. Or we can do a quick round of checkouts and then we'll be on
Yeah.
our way. Plenty work to do.
Actually, I'll be checking out soon. Probably on the job when I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I am late 10 minutes already.
Oh, all right. Then you start us
Yeah.
off and you can jump.
Yeah, thank you very much.
How are you
Bye bye.
feeling and what's your key takeaway?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I think I'm feeling good and I can see more like a sense of direction in what we are doing. Like I said earlier, our motivation lies on the fact that we are discovering new things, following the process, pretty smart lead. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Awesome. Thanks for joining, Abdul Basit. Feel free to
Yeah.
jump.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Alfred.
Yeah, I'm also late for a meeting. In fact, I'm 30 minutes late. I didn't know this meeting was still going on. I said, let me just join and see if it was still going on. And yeah, it was still going on. So, yeah, how I'm living is I do hope this continues because I do see lots of potential in this process, and not only for this hackathon, but the amount of innovations it could unlock in the African environment. Let's just say our local communities it can unlock because um, this first of its kind hackathon, hackathon that you will see, and people are being advised that okay, before you ever build, go out there and speak to your community, like build a real product for a user. Don't just go and use ChatGPT and think of something and then start building it. But build a real product for user. At least you know that okay, when you're building something, you have at least one user already in mind. You're not assuming, based on your own personal perspective. So, and I feel real innovations, that's where it starts from. It starts from okay, you actually building something for a real person, not an assumed entity. So if so, I want it not just stop in this hackathon. So I want it to keep going forward, to keep continuing, even beyond. That's why I love the idea that Cecilia came up with that. Okay, we need to expand it now. Because, after this Cardano hackathon, what next? They have achieved their aim. So, but I want this process to see continue if we could integrate it, if there are a few things we need to change and integrate it into another entire initiative, but the process still remains and, so that because it holds lots of potential in unlocking innovations in Africa, this might be what will make the big impact change that we have been expecting and anticipating in Africa. So yeah, I'm living how will I put it? Is it fulfilled and expecting for what the future might hold? Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Alfred. Feel free to jump as well. We don't want to make you more late. But thanks for joining. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. I think a lot have been said, and we can just wrap up and then maybe circle back later through maybe chatting on the group and then seeing the course of action and knowing what to do until our next call next week.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. Let's do that. All right.
Yeah.
Echo and Abdurrahman, either of you want to check out?
Yeah, it was great. We spoke about a lot of things today. Very nice things. And I think just anytime I meet in this kind of course, we talk about great stuffs. I'm just happy and proud.
Yeah, they're good.
Great fun.
Thanks. Echo,
Adding.
any last words?
And taps.
Hello.
Taps. Okay. Adding, come on.
Yeah, so, um, I think one of the guys were also talking mentioned that I believe that we are on our way to discover like bigger potential. We are not there yet, but we're actually on our way to something bigger, and I'm happy to even not be a participant, be here to witness it's being unveiled. So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. We're tapping into that bigger potential for sure. Plenty on the way. Abdurrahman, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what is the criteria for selecting the 5 teams for the finals?
The short answer is we're still working on that currently. So in the coming days, we'll communicate something for specifically that.
Okay. And also, Urban Link and Bring to Cash is not part, right?
Probably not, no. Not in that way. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think,
But there will be
and
more
also,
more events and ways to
continue,
participate.
please.
I was just gonna say I think this will lead to more events and you'll be able to bring Bing to Cash and participate in them as well. Probably.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I think that's it. So that's it.
Cool. All right then. Thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm hugely grateful. And yeah, this was really exciting. Super exciting for me as well. I think this is there's lots going on and lots starting to emerge, kind of to come to the surface from all sorts of different directions. So it's very cool. It's a privilege to be here with you all as well. And see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you at 5
Take
p.m.
care. See ya. Bye.